We're the Lonely Wild, and this is A-Sides.
This sound, I want it to surround me. Play it loud, play it loud, play it loudly. A-sides, around, around, around we go. A-sides, press play on life and here we go.
Thank you for performing the song. It sounded great. First song, Holiday, right? And I mean, I guess the holidays are approaching, or if you're looking at this in March, they still are, but a different holiday.
They're always approaching.
They're always approaching some kind of thing. Arbor Day is around the corner. It's not. Tell me a little bit, the backstory about, that song. The holidays are kind of like a mixed bag for a lot of people. It's either super happy or super blah, or if you're like me, you're trying to get psyched up for it, and then they pass you by. So, talk to me a little bit about that song.
Yeah, I think we kind of wanted to make a real holiday song, or what's a real holiday song for a lot of people out there. I think, during the holiday seasons, we're kind of inundated with just like these little jingles from the 50s, and there hasn't been much new holiday music in a long time. And this was trying to kind of paint a, I guess, more realistic picture of the season for a lot of people.
It was really uplifting.
It's not all bad.
No, I'm just kidding.
It can be.
And I mean, the album just came out, and I read something. I don't know if it was your press release or whatever. This is your death album? What the hell does that even mean? Like,
it kind of death was like the prevailing theme throughout most of the songs. I guess it's just kind of like life, death, and existence in general. But a lot of it was taken from personal stories and friends and family and stuff like that.
So was this kind of like a healing record for you guys personally, or was it just like a topic that you were like, I'm going to write about death?
It was never so much like, I'm going to sit down and write about death now. Things just kind of keep popping up in songs, and I think by the time we were ready to record the record, we had almost 30 songs or so. Then we kind of whittled them down to the ones that kind of worked thematically. So it wasn't like a big concept record or anything to going into it, but we kind of shaped it to a whole piece, I think.
And I don't think any of them are like, oh, we're gonna die, this is awful.
Right.
It's more just like, hey, our time here is limited, like, live your life. Just do all the things.
Well, they're kind of, I know that they're not typical anthems or anything, but there is kind of that, get most out of your life while you're here kind of thing, because you could die tomorrow. You could die during this interview.
Hope not. Jeez.
It took a morbid turn.
Make sure you're looking at the ceilings right now. Those lights are a little rocky. Do you think there's like a theme to each? I know you guys have one other record out. Was there like kind of like an underlining theme for the last record too? I know that you don't go in setting in, but there's usually something that carries through song to song, even if you're not trying to.
Yeah, the last one was a little bit more kind of social, political. It was right when the big kind of last economic downturn hit the world actually. And at the same time was kind of the beginning of the Arab Spring. So it was kind of this turning point. There was this Occupy movement. There was a lot of turmoil in the world, but a lot of hope too. And so that was called The Sun As It Comes, and that's kind of what most of that record was dealing with. So this time around it was, I guess, just more inspired by personal things and looking inward versus kind of looking out into the world.
Well, thank goodness how everything is great in the world.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that we got over that hump.
Right. We did it.
Yes! I'm saying this, it's going to go on Huffington Post next to a story.
Yeah.
So talk to me about touring. I know that you guys have done a few dates already this year, obviously more than a few. The new year usually brings way too many festivals and touring and stuff. Have you guys even, you must have started thinking about 2016?
Yeah, we're definitely putting the feelers out there, and I'm sure we'll be making our way back to Austin in the spring for South by Southwest. It's usually a good, exhausting time. But yeah, we hope to be doing some more touring in the early year of spring and hitting some festivals and pushing the new record.
As you're touring like city to city, do you notice, I went to LA a couple of times and I always have you guys are from LA, right? See that segue? That wasn't even a segue, it was just a comment. Hi down there, by the way. It's always hard. It's so hard to interview bands because there's always one or two prominent voices coming out, and then there's just someone who's just like,
Oh, no, I'm
Should
fine.
I speak?
I'm fine.
I just want to make sure you're okay. You know, we're like a block away here. I want to make sure
I
you're
have
okay.
Do you like
issues.
water or a cookie?
I'm just waiting for that one
I
good
mean-
thing.
I know there was a room on the bench, but you're sitting next to them.
I feel great.
What was I even saying? I forgot.
LA.
LA. So when you're going city by city, I mean, do you notice, like, when I went to LA, I had, like, a culture shock where I was just like, the life in New York is so different than life in LA. Touring must be the same, where you're seeing, like, the entire world, and just, how does it relate back to LA?
There's definitely a different culture in every place that we go to, and
Yeah.
sometimes a lot of times it's a great thing. Like we like getting out of LA and like seeing the world and seeing how different cities operate and like their culture. And we like eating food that's local to the places that we go to.
Oh yeah, we're foodies and we love breweries and stuff, so we're always
There's a
stopping
special
at
snack in
different-
every city.
Yeah, we know our snack
So you gotta
places.
explore.
It's very invigorating.
Have you explored all that White Plains has to offer?
Yeah,
No.
we just got here.
Yeah, we're just passing
The
through.
delicacies here?
Yeah,
We'll have to get a list.
Crazy.
they got some good planes, I hear.
Yeah, they do. They do. White ones.
Fine.
No, I'm just trying to work with it.
But it's cool. Like I think, like unlike most people, we're able to see. I think we've been to almost everywhere in the country. Most of us have seen most
Every
of the country.
state.
Anyway.
Most major.
At least pass through, and it's kind of cool to a neat way to see the country. I mean, you don't get to spend a lot of time in each place, but you meet a lot of different people, and it makes you appreciate other places, but also makes you appreciate where you're from too. And
You see all the pros and cons.
The new Star Wars is opening, and I'm just mentioning that because I want to tag Star Wars. For this interview. So, moving on.
Wow, Star Wars, Middle East conflict.
So, moving on, Chewbacca Han Solo. You guys are classified. I mean, I always hate like how bands are pigeonholed into a certain genre, and I get it. I'm a writer, and it's a point of reference to just help other people. But is it like time to stop always mentioning Mumford and Sons and the whole indie folk movement? Because it's kind of like, it feels like you guys are just making music. I mean, does it ever register where it's like, I mean, I think I saw a quote that like said something to that effect, like born out of the Mumford and Sons, blah blah blah.
About us specifically. Or?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, because really bands were all doing the same thing or had been. I felt sorry for a lot of my banjo player friends who'd been doing it basically their whole lives. I'm from Indiana, and so I come from the bluegrass culture. When all of a sudden they're labeled as, Mumford and Sons for something they've been doing like their whole life, and not that there's anything wrong.
I was going to say nothing
I'm
against
just
Mumford and
saying,
Sons, but I'm just saying.
it's not. None of us are copying off of them,
Right.
and that was kind of the impression for a while.
It's inaccurate, but if it gets somebody to listen to us, please keep
That's-
doing it.
Yeah, it's frustrating, but you've
So-
got to give some people kind of a frame of reference. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
do you
there's
sound
an
like
acoustic guitar in there.
do you sound like Prince, or do
Yeah.
you sound
I'm
like?
gonna totally screw
That's
up this
definitely-
article on purpose and be like, a cross between Demi Lovato and MC
Yeah,
Hammer.
All kinds of hits.
Sort of a
very
Goodman.
Top-selling artists.
Part Whitney Houston, part
It's
that's
funny.
Part
We're
Boy
supposed to
George.
cover a Whitney Houston song.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we're gonna put out one.
Which one?
shortly.
I
We
want
gotta
to dance
tweet
with
and
somebody.
see here.
Oh, isn't that a random though? Seeing how in tune we are together?
Yeah.
I think I might join the band. I have no musical talent, so just keep me in the band.
You be the hype man.
Yeah.
I'll be like the Mighty
dancer.
Mouse.
Yeah.
I'll just dance. That's it.
Yeah,
But I
you
really
do.
have low energy though, so maybe I could just like read a book on stage.
You're like
I'll be the
hype.
mysterious.
Oh man. If anybody gets that.
It's like the guy from the Eagles
Yes,
who just walks out with a cane and a cigar
that's it.
and
Well, listen, guys. Good luck
Thank
for
you.
now, 2016, and happy holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Holidays.